Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio. Tonight we have no Doug, so I'm your host, Angela Rose, and I'm joined by our lovely co-host, Kayatianyu,
Hello.
and Darren, who's not dead.
Shocking.
Uh, and with no special guest tonight for uh, how's everybody doing?
Mm, Pretty good, but I need Kaya to share a cookie with me, and I'll be even better.
You have as many as you want.
Why, thank you.
What you need is like a way to an image that will actually throw cookies at us. I'm not sure if that's doable.
It's doable. Anything's doable.
I was about to say, I would think anything's doable.
And hello Ross and hello John Knight. Ross says it's good evening everyone. I'm your favorite show derailment listener. That is accurate.
Evening, boys. I'd call you gentlemen, but y'all act like boys more than anything.
I would argue none of us are I would argue none of us are truly gentlemen, but that's just me. That's just my hot take.
I'm about to say, I would hope you're not a gentleman. I'd hope you're a lady.
One could argue that one.
Well, it's in your name, so.
Well, yes, but I don't act like it. But hey, I suppose we'll start on topic. Darren, you're the one of us that's actually watching the most anime. Wait, what? So, what's good? What's not good? What's entertaining? And what is worth watching?
You mean I'm no longer Joey the Anime Man? I don't just join. I don't just to come on a radio talk show and not watch anime.
That's me right now. That's me right now.
That's me too.
Oh my gosh.
Though I'd argue I'm probably closer to. I'd argue I might be closer to Connor. Oh no, Jerry's still out.
Okay. Well, I have been meaning to start quite a few things right now, but my current list of watching is Spy Family Season 3. The reason I didn't start it sooner was because I never watched the movie. So I actually sat down and watched the movie the other night. Pretty decent, but still had me question what I was watching there for a while. And the other shows I've started and then caught up on is My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me. Your typical guy has girls falling for him and he doesn't realize it or know why kind of deal. I'm a sucker for those shows in case y'all haven't figured it out. And let's see, what else? Dusk Beyond the End of the World. Not half bad. Another post-apocalyptic show per se. This time with robot, android, AI, all that fun stuff. Controversial topics of the day. Kind of reminds me of Beatless, to an extent. But not bad so far. And the other one that I am currently caught up on is Backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. My skill level, my unlimited gacha skill, I believe it's called 999. So, kid is leaves to become an adventurer, joins a party, gets kicked from said party, and ends up with his gacha ends up pulling a very powerful servant, and now he seeks revenge on the party that kicked him out. And let's see, what else am I watching? Oh, and of course, Isekai Quartet, because how could you not? If you've seen any of the shows in Isekai Quartet, then you need to watch Isekai Quartet. And with season 3, actually, season 2 brought in the Shield Hero characters. Season 3 has brought in the Shadow Garden characters from the Eminence and Shadow, and they've been a nice touch to the series, especially that the members of Shadow Garden's names also happen to share names with the Pleiades maids from Overlord. That was interesting watching them be like, "Were you talking to me?" No, I was talking to that one over there. But I have my eye on a couple other shows, but right now I'm just trying to get caught up on everything else that I need to catch up on. So, what about you, Ange? What has caught your fancy this season?
This season, with very little has caught my fancy, and I'm literally only watching Spy Family and My Hero final season. And My Hero final season is it's shaping up to be a nice ending.
I'm looking at the scores right now. It's got the highest rating of anything from this season, which is kind of impressive.
Which makes me wonder how lackluster this season is, because My Heroes, I mean, it's fun. It's a shonen. It's predictable.
Oh, I take that back. There's one thing that's rated, well, there might be two things rated higher than it this season.
Is one of them Spy Family?
No.
That's sad, because I would argue Spy Family is better, but...
Uma Musume Cinderella Grey, which I can totally understand. The Uma Musume franchise as a whole is actually really good. And then the one that has the highest rating right now is actually a show I never watched, but I've heard it is a goated, in the words of my friends that used to read it, novel series, and that's Kingdom. That has a score of a 9 right now.
And both Ross and John are saying, please don't spoil anything because they're waiting for the dub. I promise, no spoilers. I'm just gonna say, if you've been watching all along, it's shaping up very nice. It's wrapping up very nicely. If you haven't been, well, man, whatever. I maintain anybody who stopped watching after season, say, 3, but likes specific characters, go back and watch the villain arc. That's my opinion. Do with that what you will.
Just like I say, you should jump straight into season 2 of Call of the Night. I agree with Doug on this one because I think you would like at least what season 2 has to offer.
And hello to Aiden in the chat, and other random points of interest. Ross, you reminded me that I can go and watch Frankenstein. I'll probably do that tomorrow. And John Knight points out voice actor Zach Aguilar, hopefully I didn't butcher that too badly, has received official commendation for his voice acting work. So congrats for that. But yeah, but I mean, I suppose I'll start. I'll pose a question. Um, what what do what are the what do we think the point of the rankings are really?
It's kind of interesting because you got some that rank according to enjoyability, and then you got others that actually take a look at the show and dissect it according to the quality. Um, some people will just throw random numbers up there for like based on the enjoyment factor without really factoring in the quality of the show. Because a show can be terrible, but still enjoyable, just like a show can be awesome but really boring. Like Steins Gate is one of my highest rated shows of all time, but it takes a while to really get into and understand what's going on.
No, and I will actually agree with that. I mean, hell, we could say that we could. I mean, I've dissected Attack on Titan many times over, but the first 3 seasons are up there on my top list. But again, that is effectively another slow burn.
And it's funny. I heard somewhere that a whole bunch of Japanese people were surveyed as for what the greatest manga of all time in Japan was, and Attack on Titan was number one.
Interesting. That's actually really interesting. And
That's, of course, of the people that were surveyed, and there was a lot.
and that also kind of gets into things I've seen when traveling, like because uh when I was in Europe, we saw shops with anime collabs, but it was very different than like the shows that were very popular over there were different than the ones that are extremely popular here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Ross, no spoilers.
Circling back to the chat for a little bit. Clifford Chapin, the voice actor who does the English dub of Bakugo, almost lost his voice recording. And wow, that's actually hopefully that is not a serious damage, because that would be just be sad. Hopefully it's just a case of he overdid it and can't talk for a few days.
I'm about to say, how many times did Sean Shamel bust his voice trying to do Goku?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go with too many.
Yeah. About like how Steven Tyler's ruined his voice for years to the point that that's the reason they had to throw the tour on hiatus. Ironically, when they were supposed to come to North Carolina next.
There's a lot. He destroyed his voice with other things too, but
I know. I'm just saying though.
I was also supposed to go see Aerosmith at one point, and the show got canceled. The show got canceled and never rescheduled, and I never got to see Aerosmith. But back to the chat. John Knight says anime he's watching Spy Family dub for season 3. May I ask for one final thing? Campfire Cooking in Another World season 2. And Ross in the chat, light novel of Can a Boy and Girl Friendship Survived has ended, and Darren care to take a guess who won?
Nope. I'm gonna stay oblivious.
And
if it's not my girl that I've already picked, then I'm gonna be mad.
This is a question. This is for John Knight from Ross, and also from us too. What is your opinion on Ask for One Final Thing?
It's on my list.
Never heard of it.
It's the one where basically this girl is engaged to be married, and she basically beats the crap out of him and calls off the thing on engagement night. And now she's kind of feared for a good reason.
Oh wow.
Yep.
It's on the list.
Yeah, this season, I will say there wasn't a whole heck of a lot that grabbed me, just from titles and descriptions.
You're not watching Sanda?
Like I said, right now I'm only watching My Hero and Spy Family.
I know. I'm just saying, was that even on your radar? Because that just, even though I haven't really seen it, I thought it would. It kind of, from the clips I have seen, it looked like something you might have been interested in.
I'm actually going to open up my anime list and see and
I mean, it had a.
I didn't put any fall anime on my plan to watch list. Everything is summer and earlier. Huh. And in real world news and real world entertainment news, because we're not going like super realist depressing. I don't know who all is fans of Journey, but they're apparently doing one final farewell tour for 60 dates here in the States.
Well, to be fair, yeah, I mean, all of the bands that you grew up with and I've come to love over the years are starting their farewell tours or have done several farewell tours at this point.
Yep.
I mean, hell, probably what gets me the most is the Rolling Stones is still putting out music and they're in their 80s.
Yeah. To answer the question about ask for one final thing, John says it's got some action and comedy. Scarlet is a tough female character, and I feel like this anime is a 10 out of 10. Which I suppose, Darren, is a good enough review for you to actually watch it.
It was on the list anyway.
Exactly. But if they gave it a 1 but if they gave it below maybe a 5 and it was on your list, would you reconsider?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because I've already seen the clips from it and I was already intrigued. Like, I'm already well aware of how of how this particular character acts. So I was vested when I read the description, and after I saw some clips from the first episode after it first came out, it was solid enough for me to put in my will watch later list or will start soon list.
Fair. I am not going to read Ross's comment because I feel like that's a spoiler you don't want. In other silly fun news, I found out on Facebook that today is National Fried Chicken Sandwich Day.
Yay.
Exactly.
Yummy.
And some
No, thank you.
And some chains, at least according to a local Facebook group, they're doing a free chicken sandwich if you purchase more than $10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to say we know nothing about that, so because I mean we already sell enough of them as it is. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is Facebook, so shrug.
Failbook. It's not Facebook, it's Failbook.
Fair.
It started to ban one of my friends again for nonsense in regards to anime pages. So it started to become one of those navigating their AI again.
Mm. Yeah, I got nothing. And Ross, we were doing so good about this. Ross,
You ain't got to entertain him.
yeah, but it's something. But it is something I actually knew. You know what? He brings up a food thing that I already knew about, and Nico and Kiyoshi and Koishi brought up say Facebook is where you find the most random things. Like, I think that's how I learned that I think Facebook is where we first saw that a Taco Bell is going to be opening at the end of our street.
Oh my.
Yup.
Yeah, well, about to say our local Facebook groups are so nosy that the minute someone sneezes in this town, they're all over it.
Yup. That's why I ignore most of them.
Well, the only reason I'm there is for business advertisement, nothing else.
Yeah. No, I'm. Yeah, no. Nico and Kyoshi post that they were at NecoCon last week and got a chance to meet Wendy Lee. Very awesome.
You know what? You know what else is released this season that I completely forgot about? And it's
What?
mostly because I didn't have friends obsessing over it.
What?
Has-Been Hotel's second season has started releasing. And I really haven't heard that much about it, honestly.
That has been not on my radar. And
Has it been anywhere on your feed? I'm assuming not.
No.
Same here. I haven't seen jack from it really.
Yeah,
For a while there, I was seeing stuff left and right, even when it wasn't airing, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I saw a lot of it a while ago. But and John Knight in the chat is talking about Grammy. The Grammys have announced nominees for Song of the Year. I've only heard of some of these artists and not heard of any of these songs. I feel so old.
I'm just like, sorry, but no one did Abracadabra like the Steve Miller Band.
And the fact that at least one, and the fact that we have a cover in the Song of the Year nominees actually, or at the very least a song with the same name as one from previous generations, that just circles back to my point of nothing is original anymore.
Pretty much.
But Lady Gaga.
I didn't realize she was still relevant.
I think she's one that will never not be relevant. Lady Gaga's kind of like the kind of like Madonna in that respect.
Well, she tried too much to be like Madonna or Beyonce. I want to say she tried to be too much like Madonna. But I don't know. I never really followed many non-country artists for the longest.
And for recent years, I don't follow a lot beyond metal, classic rock and metal. So, Bruno, Lady Gaga, Dochi Anxiety. Wait, what? Never heard of them. Bruno Mars collab. Bad Bunny, Sabrina Carpenter, and a Kendrick Lamar and SZA, and Billie Eilish. I'm surprised Taylor Swift's not on that list. Not gonna lie.
Well, guess what? She can stay off that list. Because, from my understanding, she lost a lot of fans with her most recent album, which is kind of funny.
I've heard the album is good. I haven't listened to it yet.
I haven't listened to anything of her since she left country music.
I like specific songs, but beyond that, mad respect for her talent. Not a huge fan. And Ross says, that's all real world news I got. Back to anime with news of a weird anime I saw that got announced. I'm not kidding on this real title called Pops Like Kawaii Stuff. Ross, I know you're not kidding. I vaguely remember seeing this, and the facepalm reaction is real.
I have to say, weirder titles exist.
I know. We've all seen them, but really?
Hey, look, it's Japan. I don't question them anymore.
Nor do I.
About to say they got hit with double whammies way back when. They're still recovering, I'm sure.
Yes. I've been there. And so none of this surprises me.
Oh, so apparently the UN is going after Japan.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing.
Japan gave him the big middle finger about that.
For what?
Yeah.
Okay, share, because I missed this.
Okay, basically the UN doesn't like the fact that Japan still produces Lolita content, and they got all in their feelings about it.
Yeah, basically UN doesn't want Kamika to sell that type of content, and then Japan and Kamika basically just told them they can sell it. It goes against our, basically free expression.
Yeah, and meanwhile, so the UN is complaining about an event that takes place, the content sold at an event that takes place in Japan, at the largest doujin manga novel, biggest events of the year in Japan for conventions.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. I get where the UN is coming from, because I get where the UN is coming from.
You got morality versus freedom of expression, and a lot of times the two conflict with each other. So which one holds precedence?
I wasn't even thinking morality. I was more thinking
culture.
I was more thinking along the lines of some Lolita content tends to be very inappropriate on certain levels, and can lead to, and I'm not saying it does. I'm saying where they're coming from is it could lead to very, in some countries, illegal things.
But that's also many things depending on how the individual views it.
And hence why I'm saying I see where the UN is coming from, but I don't necessarily agree with the way they're handling that.
Pretty much, because if they're talking about that, then they also need to be talking about Shota.
I mean, like any other, having wandered through some of those shops when we were in Tokyo, like any other industry with Dojin, there's something for everybody. You just have to know where to look.
Mm-hmm.
And you at least have to have an idea of what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Just like at conventions, there's stuff that exists, but you have to have permission to go see said content.
Exactly. And I feel like
Rule 34 plays into real life, of course.
you know what, Ross? I will actually agree with that. Ross is kind of saying, so basically, I'm saying sometimes reality and imagination can dangerously merge across lines. You know what? Yes, I will
Yes,
agree with that.
of course. I mean,
I mean,
interspecies reviewers push the boundaries of everything.
and while it is extremely stupid, it is extremely stupid in the most entertaining way, and I'm enjoying it. And
You
wait,
know,
look, going back to the Grammys, John Knight lists the Album of the Year award nominees. How is Tyler the Creator on there, but not Taylor Swift? That's what I want to know.
like I said, she lost a lot of support. Well, don't forget, a lot of times once a celebrity is partnered up with someone, their fame either continues to rise or it plummets. Why do you think so many uh, people working that are popular in Japan, the idol industry, if they're discovered they have any kind of relationships that becomes an issue?
Oh, I know. It's just stupid. I'm not. I know it happens. But. I got nothing. I don't recognize half of these artists. Ross, Ross, that's stupid and fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I could bring this back to conspiracy theories from a couple of years ago. A couple of years back when The Weeknd was at peak popularity, there was a conspiracy theory going around that he didn't get any Grammy nominations because he agreed to do the Super Bowl halftime show. And and a simple cheese platter popped in to say hi. I love you guys. Hope everyone had a nice weekend so far. Cheese platter, lovely to see you. Hope you are doing well, and hopefully we see you soon. But all right. What I suppose what other news do we have? Or entertaining nonsense.
Pokemon Emerald's 20 years old.
I feel so old now.
I know, that was my. You know, it's funny. My cousins played Ruby and Sapphire. I got into it around Emerald. What about you, Kaya? Did you play any of the games growing up?
Oh
Or
yeah,
were they
I played
or
the
were you
original. I got Blue when it first came out, and I
did you
played
play
all
any?
the way up till Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and then I stopped playing. Like I got the Eevee Pikachu one, but
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of missed out on Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. If I were to recommend any games past Heart Gold and Soul Silver, once we got into the 3DS era games, like those would be the games I would play.
All right, so my question to you guys: Eevee or Pikachu?
Eevee.
In terms of all-time favorite Pokemon, or which of the games we would pick?
Which, if you had to choose between those two Pokemon, which one would you pick? Game or
Uh,
no,
per-
game or in general?
Personally, I'm a Pikachu person. I love Eevee to death, but I'm a Pikachu person.
And Ross says Eevee as well. Uh, Also, he said, speaking of Pokemon, Ross also points out that in December you can in Legends ZA DLC you can battle Pokemon past level 100 in alternate dimension of Lumiose
Lumiose
City.
City, which is kind of funny. We haven't seen over 100 level 100 Pokemon since Generation 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Gen 1 was so broken that people exploited the heck out of it, and having level 200 something Pokemon was not out of the question.
So there's a food YouTube channel I follow that in almost every single video he does, on the kitchen counter there is a different Pokemon plush, like a plushie.
You know, there is a guy that I was following for a long time, and I haven't seen any of his videos recently, and now I really need to find out what happened. But it's a guy. His channel is like Polymaker figurines, and his goal is to print them all. He's 3D printing little figures of all the Pokemon.
So
And when I last saw him, I think he was somewhere toward the end of the Johto region, and he was about to go into the Hoenn region.
so speaking of 3D printing in Pokemon, when I was working in a when I was working in a research department, somebody in one of the labs had a Pikachu test tube holder that somebody had 3D printed, and somebody else was like, "Ooh, I want one." And as you can see in the background, we got our 3D printer going. So I asked husband, "Hey, can you 3D print Pokemon test tubes?" We found the models, we printed them, and we gave them, and I gave them to people in the labs, and it was hilarious.
More
These
props to y'all.
I am not a Pokemon fan, but I can appreciate
Uh,
it for what it
you,
is.
it's who would have thought that a guy that had mild, I think he was high functioning autistic, that loved playing video games versus doing his schoolwork, went out and did a couple of things with bugs back in the day, pitched it to what would later become Game Freak, and has now created the most successful media franchise in the world.
Yeah,
I
you
had
know
him.
it.
I did a whole thing on him for a presentation in school one time on the history of Pokemon, and yeah, it was a very interesting story of how he came up with it, and then of course how everybody just kind of took off from there. And I even, while surfing the interwebs a while back, someone found a news article from the 90s and some expert weighed in saying that Pokemon was nothing more than a fad and would probably die off within a couple of months back in 1998, 1999.
Mm-hmm. And here we are this many years later.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, where people are knocking each other out just about for Pokemon cards.
Oh, I know. And John's posting more Grammy nominees in the chat. One best pop duo group performance. The one that stands out, one of the ones that stands out is Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. That's clearly from Wicked. And that's something we are gonna have to go see because I absolutely loved the stage performance. And I suppose his listing for best nominees for best new artist is a reminder that I'm old and don't keep up with new music at all.
I don't either.
Because I do not recognize. I only recognize one of these names, and I feel like that's because of a sports collab. And I'm not even certain I've got it right. Olivia Dunn, Cat's Eye, the Marias, Addison Rae, Sumber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, and Lola Young. Never heard music from any of them. But John, thank you so much for sharing this. I'm learning here. And I may very well do a deep dive on Spotify at some point and look these artists up. What do I have over there? Do I have? No, I do not. Somewhere in my house that is not within reaching distance, I have a plush Charmander that somebody bought for me. And also, wait, Ross, do you mean Sesame Street?
Wait, what?
Apparently, real quick, real world news. Apparently, Sesame is going to be on Netflix now.
Oh, speaking of Sesame Street, someone was going on recently that for Halloween, Sesame Street apparently gave tribute to One Piece because Elmo dressed up as Luffy.
I did. Nope. That is not going to. I can't put Charmander up on the stack of notebooks.
Charmander. Charmander.
But this was given to me for Christmas from one of my friends a few years ago because the others in our group, there were Pokemon that they were obsessed with, so they got the plushies of the Pokemon they chose. And my friends know me, and I like fire, so I got Charmander because fire, and it's adorable.
I have exactly 4 Pokemon plushes per se because one my friend got me while he was living in Japan out of a vending machine, I believe.
Oh, a gotcha?
No, out of an actual toy machine.
Ooh.
Let me see if I can find it in a sec. Here he is.
Nope, we're not gonna get that in frame. Oh well. So let's put
Let's play a game. Who's that Pokemon?
Ross says he has Eevee and Sylveon, needs Melodiota and Cyndaquil. I don't know. That looks familiar, but
Ross got it.
Rockruff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Rockruff.
And yeah.
He went when Sun and Moon was releasing.
Mm. Yeah, no, our last trip to Japan, we just spent way too much money in the Pokemon store. I got Pokemon for my friends.
And while I was at, I can't remember if I was at Animate Raleigh or I want to say I was at Animate Raleigh, or did I get these when you were with me? I don't remember.
You did not buy Pokemon with me.
Of course, I got Groudon and Kyogre because how could I not? And then I got Best Dragon Elements.
And yet Dragonite is not a dragon.
Dragonite is a dragon.
It's not a dragon type, it's a fairy.
No. Charizard is not a dragon type. Dragonite is a dragon.
Pokemon.
Look, I'm still mad I missed the Pokemon special. Okay?
Well, we'll just have to do another one.
But yes, Charizard was the dragon type. Was the one that everyone thought was a dragon, but wasn't actually a dragon type until it got its Mega Evolution.
And Ross says I'm right. When Dragonite evolves with a Megastone, it becomes a fairy type.
That's literally within the past couple of months. Like, Mega Dragonite isn't even like 2 months old yet.
Then I might have a different Pokemon, but I thought there was a dragon-looking one that is a fairy and not a dragon.
It's Charizard.
I don't know.
If it's red, it's Charizard. Or reddish orange, it's Charizard.
I don't know. I'm also basing this on Pokemon Go, so there's that. But Pokemon...
Yes, Ross. I didn't like Ash's new art style either. That's part of the reason I didn't continue into Sun and Moon. However, the animation I heard was excellent. The fight scenes were really, really good. But in my opinion, Pokemon peaked during the Diamond and Pearl series. But
Ross, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm thinking. And
no, Gudra is a dragon, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. But yeah, no, those are my very few Pokemon plushes. Those things are ridiculously expensive as well.
Yup. Even with an amazing exchange rate to get little Pokemon things from my friends, I spent over $100 US.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
And actually, you probably still did better over there than you would have over here.
Yep.
To be frank with you.
I also got so one of my good friends, basically she her infant was born at the start of the year. And so I bought baby stuff from the Pokemon store because her thing is owls. So, and they happen to have
So
a really cute Rowlet onesie.
I was about to say the only owls in Pokemon are Hoot Hoot, Noctowl, Rowlet, and Decidueye, and I forget Rowlet's mid form.
They had a bunch
Um,
of really adorable baby merch for Rowlet, so I got some.
you know, that's one thing I'm gonna have my child do in the future once I finally start a family. I'm gonna have the 3 starters from each region, put them on the floor, and tell my child, "All right, crawl to the one you want." It's the most difficult decision they'll make in their life, or most
And,
crucial.
and you realize that I will do the thing where whenever I travel, if I know which Pokemon, I will find things or find something close enough and then send a box.
Oh, I just remembered. Doug sent me a Pokemon plush a while back. It's actually in the living room. So I technically have 5 Pokemon plushes.
That sounds about right.
Wow. Because he couldn't find Sceptile.
But that sounds about right. Doug being Doug. Um, Now, do either of you have any events or conventions or any fun things like that planned for the rest of the year?
Mm, nope. The only other convention I wanted to go to was about 2 weeks ago, and that wasn't even an anime convention.
Oh, what was it?
GIE, the Green Industry Expo, or as it's dubbed, Equip Expo. It's basically the largest landscape show in the country.
Ah, did you actually make it?
No, I did not. I wanted to, but I couldn't find anyone willing to go with me. So basically, it's held at the Louisville, Kentucky Expo Center.
Mm.
And what makes it so unique is in addition to the huge inside and everything that goes on in there, they have several acres on the outside where the people actually bring in the products they have and have a demo yard.
Oh wow.
Honestly, that sounds amazing. And while I'm definitely not in the landscape industry, I would go literally just to explore and learn shit.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun from my understanding. And the other thing is, if you go to the industry, if you go all 3 days, you will not see everything. Like it is impossible to visit every single booth there in all 3 days. But like I said, if I will go one year. Me and my friend both want to go. It's just that it wasn't feasible for us this year, or wasn't feasible for him. I could have arranged it. And then I had several others that unfortunately weren't able to go because the one nice thing about this convention, it takes place during the middle of the week. So it runs Wednesday through Friday.
Interesting. No,
And
for
also it's
industry
held
event
toward the end of the season.
for industry events, I've noticed they tend to do that.
It's probably because they know that the contractors that own the businesses and whatnot, are probably going to be exhausted by the end of the week. So they'd rather do it something in the middle of the week to still garner their interest, and also probably while they have people actively working to oversee their sites while they're gone.
Mm. But now my last event of the year is coming up in 2 weeks. I'll be going down to Philly for PAX Unplugged, which is which is tabletop gaming as opposed to anime. But but occasionally you see some crossover. Like how One Piece has a collectible card game. Who knew?
Yep.
Well, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of anime that have collectible card games that you wouldn't even know about.
I'm sure One Piece is just the one that came up in my Facebook feed recently.
Mhm.
Because
I mean,
being how much time I spent running tournaments for a collectible card game, card games is a thing that comes up on my feeds.
about to say not Ross, Kaya. How many trading cards from the Idol series do you own?
I did a lot of Y Swartz, so I've a lot of like Love Live from that series.
Mm. John Knight in the chat has pointed out that Haikyuu seasons 1 and 2 are English dub are now streaming on Crunchyroll. That's a show I never got into. I know people that absolutely love it.
I'm still not a sports.
Oh, God. You're killing me, Ross.
Let's say, what's with all the horror? Halloween was last week.
It never ends.
No, it doesn't. Night. Okay. Poll time. Nightmare Before Christmas is it a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
Honestly, I don't think I've seen the thing start to finish.
I would point it kind of both in my opinion.
Because
Or
most
Christmas.
and John Knight says Halloween, obviously. Because I would argue both. Most people don't. Most people say no, it has to be one or the other. I disagree. And
Just like everybody always asks, is what a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, for crying out loud.
I couldn't even remember the name of it. I just know that that's a hot topic of conversation every year.
Yup, and there's my hot take. A new Christmas horror slasher movie is coming out soon. The title is Silent Night, Deadly Night. I am so not surprised this is a thing.
About to say, nice play on Christmas carols there.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I don't know whether to be impressed or to be disappointed.
Disappointed because it's apparently a remake of a 1984 movie.
Why is it that the 80s movies got such a bad rap?
No,
Like,
I'm not.
no, I'm just asking, like, in general, anytime I hear people come talk about movies, the 80s get more shade than pretty much any other decade.
I'm gonna 100% speculation. 80s movies don't hold up. Minus a few quintessential classics. Like 80s, you know what? I'm gonna say 80s movies probably just get shade for the amount of camp and the amount of cheesy special effects and the styles that we look back on and laugh hysterically at.
I was just curious because they put out banger TV shows in the 80s, but the movies was the one thing that, like I said, that constantly had shade thrown at them.
I don't know why. I recently watched a movie. I recently watched a Quentin Tarantino movie for the first time that came out in the middle 90s, and it was definitely a good movie, but definitely there were certain aspects that did not age well.
Well, I'm sure a lot of things haven't aged well.
And Ross has never seen Nightmare Before Christmas, never been interested. That's a shame. That
Which, like
is,
I said, I've never seen it start to finish.
It's a good movie.
I will agree. And now I'm looking it up because I feel like I feel like it is.
Do you feel the need to?
No, I'm looking up something specific because I don't want to.
What year did that come out? The 90s or the early
19,
2000s?
1993, and I
Okay.
was correct. It is Tim Burton.
Yep.
And that's what I was triple checking because I'm like, I think it's a Tim Burton movie, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to look it up. Okay. And wow, we are so all over the place today. Grammy Award nominees for Best Pop Solo Performance: Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, Sabrina Carpenter, Lola Young, and Chappell Roan. Well, all right. I actually know who most of these people are. Ross, you know what that and Ross says, I don't know why, but claymation feels like it messes with my eyes. You know what, Ross? That is an understandable argument. All right. Well, Japan does not do Thanksgiving the way America does. So there's no Thanksgiving
Well,
featured in most anime.
I'm about to say Thanksgiving's like purely an American tradition because I would think because it was about settlers here in the states. So
The United States has a Thanksgiving, and so does Canada, but Canadian Thanksgiving is in October.
uh,
But is there are there Thanksgiving movies or shows? And if so, what would be things worth watching? Because I genuinely don't know, and I refuse to skip over Thanksgiving and jump directly from Halloween to Christmas.
exactly, and that's what everyone seems to be doing this year. Go figure.
Like in Japan, that was a thing. In Japan, that was a thing, and Japan does not do Thanksgiving. So for them to have their Christmas stuff starting to go up on November 1st made sense. It was weird, but it made sense. Here, no. Christmas should not go up. Oh, you
Until
mean
after Thanksgiving.
Ross, you mean Thanksgiving? Where they have all the turkey basting puns?
What?
It's a slasher horror movie. It's really I watched Rooster Teeth doing Mystery Science Theater to this movie, and it was real bad, and it was something else. But yes, the movie. It's a slasher movie, and there's many jokes that are basically Thanksgiving dinner puns.
I have to say, the only Thanksgiving show I can think of that is a cult classic, of course, is Charlie Brown. Because let's be honest, with all the major holidays around this time of year, Charlie Brown is a classic.
Charlie Brown, I forgot about, but Charlie Brown is a classic.
Yep. Do they even show that anymore?
They do. It's Happy Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown, and then a lot of times right after they have the thing they did where they portrayed the people on the Mayflower. Or
See,
it's like I think it's like Welcome to America, Charlie Brown, or something along those lines. It's like that after story to the main episode.
and Thanksgiving is available on Netflix. Thank you for sharing, Ross. Grammy nominees from John Knight. Grammy nominees for Best Compilation Soundtrack for Visual Media. Wicked, surprising no one. K-pop Demon Hunters, surprising no one. F1 the album. Wait, what? A Complete Unknown. And Sinners. F1 the album. Wait, what?
That's actually an album.
Apparently. I still haven't watched K-pop Demon Hunters.
Same.
Yep,
However,
same.
my friends put on the music video for the opening theme, and it's actually pretty good. Very much gave me Legal Legend vibes. It gave me KDA vibes. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it is way too early to be seeing Christmas stuff. And I was at the mall today, and Santa Claus was already set up at the mall, and I got a little bit cranky about that.
Wait, they already got Santa Claus set up at the mall?
At the Natick Mall, yes.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm sorry, that should not be a thing until Black Friday.
Usually that's how it used to be. It used to be closer to Thanksgiving, maybe the week before or the week of.
Like, having an early December birthday, I have a weird thing where I refuse to put up Christmas decorations before my birthday. But I understand the people that do the day after Thanksgiving.
That is way too early.
Agreed. And
Mhm.
I'm also face palming because okay, how are we defining the genre of rock music? Grammy Award nominees for Best Rock Album are new albums from Deftones, HAIM, Linkin Park, Turnstile, and Youngblood. Most of that I would not actually consider being rock.
Alternative, maybe.
Deftones definitely falls more under, like, if I remember correctly, punk alternative. I haven't listened to them in years. Linkin Park, definitely alternative. Youngblood is a toss-up. Because, okay, that one, new rock, I only know a couple of songs from them, granted, and one of them is from Kaiju 8, Season 1. But I suppose when I think of rock, I think of the classic stuff like Metallica or Ozzy Osbourne.
Same.
But then again, I suppose I'm showing my age.
Not really. I mean, I've grown. I have classic rock radio is my go-to right now. For many things, so don't feel too bad. So I'm used, and also they changed one of my stations earlier this year. They went from being a classic rock station to now everything rock and alternative, and it kind of, I don't know how to feel about that.
Don't get me wrong, I love 90s alternative music.
No,
Fair amount.
they're playing all the new crap, like the new alternative stuff as well.
Oh.
And that's the part that's like, yeah, no.
Like, 90s alternative is a thing. I grew up with that. That's my jam. But that is very different from rock.
Exactly.
And since we're talking about holiday stuff, Ross wants to know, what is your go-to dessert, meal, and drink to go with it?
Oops.
And
I do
Ross,
not need to be dropping my phone again.
And Ross is going into Christmas, and no, we're banning Christmas for now. It's too soon.
Exactly.
And he brings up eggnog, and a good and for dessert a good banana pudding.
I am not a fan of eggnog.
Nor am I. For holiday thing, well, no, who am I kidding? Just for this time of year, give me a good mulled apple cider. So delightful.
That I'll drink. I'll drink apple cider, but eggnog, I can't drink eggnog.
I haven't had it in years. I don't like it. At least I never liked it in the past. I'm probably due to try again. So when my husband inevitably gets his bottle or gets his carton of eggnog, I'll probably try some. But I don't. I love me like the mulled apple cider.
Mm. I am not a Christmas drinking really anything.
Is there any kind of seasonal food beverage that you do enjoy for the fall? Like, I'll go with the entirety of the fall holiday season.
Nope. I'm basic. I am very easy to please. Like, I am not that way when it comes to my food. And it's probably because, I mean, I dealt with a lot of stuff growing up like that, but it might have just been the fact that it was never really brought to any of our family gatherings. So, they just stuck to the standard stuff.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. For Thanksgiving, we grew up with the traditional New England Northeast Thanksgiving dinner with all the fixings, homemade stuffing, homemade mashed potatoes, and all that.
I mean, we do stuff like that, but well, yeah, I mean, turkey's probably my biggest thing this time of year, and that's really about it.
I mean, there are some things that are very southern. Like I distinctly remember my mother, the first year my sister's husband came to visit when she was still in college. He came up for Thanksgiving, and my mom made a candied yams for the first time, and I hated it. But apparently that's a southern thing, or at least southern from where he was from.
Okay. Honestly, couldn't tell you anything about that.
It's basically sweet potatoes baked with brown sugar, cinnamon, and marshmallow.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's never been a thing here. Like the two things that my mom would make would either be that she would always bring to our family dinners is either the 3 vegetable casserole or the green bean casserole. And those were what she would do. And then, of course, she'd do brownies, but not the homemade ones. They would be like the store-bought ones, but they would always be like the first dessert at the gatherings to get gone quickly.
See, growing up, I would always make the pumpkin pie.
And that is one thing we've never really had.
I would do it from scratch. Typically, like when I go to friend gatherings for Thanksgiving, most of the time I make chocolate chip cookies from scratch because that's what people like. But I'll either do that or brownies. Ross, we went apple picking and we made a bunch of apple goods. Pies was not one of them. And in Ross's opinion, ham is better than turkey for holiday meals. I will very much disagree.
The same.
I don't like ham. That's like the one meat I absolutely will not touch. Don't like it. No, I'm not judging you for that opinion. I just disagree. But
because we have turkey for Thanksgiving and ham for Christmas. That's what they do in my house.
My in-law, we do Thanksgiving. We do all the holidays with my husband's family because he's got a lot of family and everybody's local enough. And both holidays it is turkey. And because of the amount of people, there's always 2 turkeys, one in the oven, one deep fried, and all the traditional sides, and 6 pies. But there's usually the minimum number of people up until recently was 13.
Oh wow.
So 2 turkeys and 6 pies made sense.
Yeah, it's usually just me, my mom, my dad, my brother might come over. It really depends because he's married now, so he might go to the other family. But he tries to stop by, but they usually don't eat much.
Growing up, it was literally me, mom, dad, my 2 sisters, and then once we got to college, once my one sister and I got to college, it was we would basically end up doing like a split where we would do half the day with our family, and then if we had a significant other who was local enough, half the day with their family. And then once my dad passed away and mom moved to Florida, I started doing holidays with significant other families. But that's the joys of being an adult. But Darren, do you do the whole traditional giant family gathering for Thanksgiving and or Christmas?
We try to do both. It's not necessarily giant, I would say, but I mean, it's predominantly mom, her brothers and sisters, and some of their kids if they decide to come up, and then of course her parents, which unfortunately will not include her mom this year, because her mom passed away. Well, actually, I take that back. Her mom passed away last year, so this will be her 2nd year without her mom, 4th year without my dad. But yes, and then we used to split between the families. Like one year we would go to Thanksgiving for mom's side, then go to Christmas for dad's side, or vice versa. Because dad's family down in Florida. So.
And Kaya, I see you got Minecraft going in the screen. And
Oh yeah.
Ross says, has anyone besides him watched Monster Meet Milady?
I believe it was on the maybe list.
I have not seen that one, Ross. Kaya, I'm going to ask,
Ow.
which
Wow.
which version of Minecraft are you using?
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Not prepared for that.
Which version of...
So this is modded, so this is Stone Block 4.
And the real question is, do I have it on this machine? Where did I get Minecraft?
If you use the Feed the Beast launcher, you can download it. I was not prepared for that. I'm gonna need better armor. Now I'm in full netherite.
I had it on the old PC that died, and I never reinstalled it. Great. There's a okay. There's apparently Minecraft Dragon Ball Z.
Yes. There's a soul leveling one too.
Minecraft is proving that you can make anything if you have enough time.
Which version did you say?
Oh, which version of Minecraft is this on?
Yes. Or which one are you currently in? And
So this is a mod pack. I want to say it's like a newer version.
Because I have Game Pass for my PC, and there's so many different bundles, and I'm just like, blah. This is way more than I'm familiar with.
Can I even craft another egg?
And You Matter and Are Amazing says, go to mod pack.
I did not think that friggin' chicken jockey would be that tough.
And Ross, I haven't actually started watching Fragrant Flowers. Never got around to it.
Yeah, you're missing out.
I know. That'll probably go and watch.
And my friend, he's actually reading the source material for it, and he says it is getting interesting.
And You Matter says, Lex says chicken jockey, and then started singing Steve's Lava Chicken. I assume you know that reference, because I don't.
Don't. Jesus.
All I gotta say is I didn't bother watching the Minecraft movie, but I will say that Jack Black was a perfect casting decision.
Ow. Yeah, the small pack's pretty fun. They had a it was a dungeon you can go into, which is the Portal dungeon. It was like playing Portal. I think it might. Yeah. I'm gonna... Need building blocks.
Oh boy. And Ross says Darren, is assassin status succeeds hero anime on your list?
I think.
I don't even know. Now, Kaya, I gotta ask, are you playing in a, or do you have a server?
Yes, so this is my server I play on. Where is my
Because at one point I tried playing Minecraft and I just got bored really quickly. But I wasn't playing with anybody and just kind of doing my own thing. Because I've come to realize that without things to do in games, I tend to just forget.
Yep. There's a lot to do in this. And there is a lava chicken.
But if there's no progress, like no, for me, I don't. Open world games where there's no light, where there's no like.
So the point of this mod pack is to upgrade this machine. And I have quest lines. I'm already on tier 3.
I was gonna say, do you want to share that and we can present and we can let people watch?
What I probably should do, I don't know if I can get into it yet, is probably get into Draconic.
Ooh.
But it is tedious. Like, I need a new inventory system. I need to get into AE2 if I'm going to do that. That's why I kind of dug out this room. And I got an upstairs because I need to get into AE2.
Oh God, I remember. I remember back when Achievement Hunter existed. We used to watch their Let's Play Minecraft, and one of them would just off screen go and build a bunch of organizing shit, and then let all the chaos people go do the nonsense and bring back supplies.
So all my stuff is, all my resources right now are coming from these guys. They're brushing resources for me. So I'm kind of like close mid game, I would believe. I don't think I'm towards end game. But I'm auto producing everything, gravel,
But is
sand,
there
dust,
with
netherrack.
Minecraft? Is there even an end game?
Well, regular Minecraft, the end game's basically killing the Ender Dragon. This one, it actually has a quest line. So there's more to this, but it won't unlock until I actually upgrade the world engine.
Going back to anime, Ross says, I would say for me this season, Campfire Cooking Season 2, Yano-kun Ordinary Day, and Mechanical Marie are all okay, just not great watching this season. But what?
Wait, you can twerk a budding MS. Oh, I did not know that.
And Ross says, I'm liking My Hero Academia final season. Assassin Status succeeds Hero. Tales of Wedding Ring season 2. Spy Family's okay, but Anya's antics overthinks my brain. Ask for Final Request is real good, and Plus Size Misadventures in Love is funny. And Bed and Breakfast season 2 is good, but it doesn't feel like it did in season 1. All right, Ross, that's an extensive list. I can totally see where Anya's overthinking is too much. I can totally see that. I'm gonna not spoil anything. But yeah. Got anything else to say, Darren?
Nope. Like I said, I got the whole Anya thing in the movie got me going, but now I just need to see how season 3 progresses. The first episode, like I said, was interesting, and I feel the guy on the excavator to an extent, especially considering that that's the kind of equipment I operate.
That is 100% fair.
But also, it was nice seeing Nightfall again.
Like it.
Look, I like Yor, but I also kind of like Nightfall.
Yor is kind of my favorite, and let's just say things get interesting. And I'm one episode behind on Spy Family. And Kaya, what are you doing?
Using goo. Yeah, these are. It's Just Dire, called Just Dire Things. It's a mod that I don't know if you ever watched Dire Wolf. He's a Minecraft streamer. He made his own mod.
Yeah. I do not. I typically do watch like what I'll call. I don't watch like the multiple hour long streams. And I definitely watch very little live that's not sports.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. And Ross continues, Hero without class is interesting and I like it. Dusk Beyond End of the World is intriguing and keeps me focused. And my awkward senpai is okay, yet can be really funny. And lastly, wait for it.
Dusk at the End of the World. That I said it's interesting. It reminds me of Beatless. Now, trust me, Ross. Now, not trust me, but tell me, Ross. Did you watch Beatless?
And lastly, With You and Our Love Will Make It Through is super good and the purest romance charge I need.
That one's junk.
And Darren, what's beatless? Says Ross.
Beatless. It's where it's kind of like plastic memories in a sense, where you have AI, basically like cyborg androids, fully robotic assistants per se, and you have these four androids that were built by supercomputers and were basically set free into society to change the world. And at that point, basically each country has their own supercomputer, and these four, even though they were derived from one of the most powerful supercomputers, they had independent thought per se. And like I said, each one of them was it kind of sets out to change society. And yes, Ross, Isla was an android, and Plastic Memories did make me cry. Just saying, it broke one of my coworkers pretty good too. But look it up, Ross. I think you would like it. It's basically you got more and more shows that are incorporating AI into it and how it's trying to integrate into society and also the potential dangers of it and yada 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 yada. So it touches on real life issues.
Ay, ay, ay. See, at this point, I'm mostly just kind of watching Kaya play Minecraft.
I'm at the boring part right now.
Can I?
Oh, I need runes.
Let's do that. I don't know if anyone else is watching, but we shall comment or we shall watch because it's we've actually hit the point where we're all being reasonably quiet and Ross hasn't and Ross has stopped giving us derailments. Oh boy.
Yeah, what type of rune I need?
This room looks like you spent a very long time in here or building this out.
Not really.
Like all the equipment and whatnot.
That's Fortune 4, efficiency 6. I'm breaking 5. And it can go up to like 8. So what, something spawns down there.
Something's appearing.
It's the stupid goat.
Meh.
Aw.
Wait, that's a
It's
cheat.
it's a it was labeled Quantum Goat,
Yep, just gives me free stuff.
and Ross ran out of derailment. And it has been so long since I have even watched a Let's Play Minecraft that this all looks so not familiar.
Yeah, modded is a little. I know people that get kind of confused with it.
Well, I remember watching Achievement Hunter, and they would do some stuff with mods, some stuff without. Like, I have no idea what that is that you're doing.
So this takes a normal piece of armor and makes it into apotheosis armor.
Okay.
So it gives it more stats.
Oh.
Like this one, lightning damage is reduced by 18%. Projectile damage taken is reduced by 15 when attack casts ball lightning 5.
Ooh. And Ross had a question for Darren that I missed that actually appeared, that I missed it completely. Ross says, I found it, Darren, on live chart site, but it doesn't say it streamed anywhere. But did it get released in the States in 2018? And Darren, that's to you.
Remember where I watch my stuff. That's all I gotta say. If you want a link, I'll be glad to give it to you. I don't remember. I feel like it would have been a Sentai title, because this was prior to all the Crunchyroll, Funimation, Sentai Filmworks BS.
Ross, I don't know if that answers your question, but because I sure as heck don't know. This is not a show I'm familiar with.
Give me a sec. Let me see if I can figure it out. But like I said, if you want a site, I will be glad to give it to you. Especially if there's no English distribution channels currently. All right, so no one licensed this.
And Ross says it did not air in the States on streaming. John Knight comes back to us with more Grammy Award nominations for Best Score Soundtrack. How to Train Your Dragon, Severance Season 2, Sinners, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Things I've actually heard of. Yay! I've heard Severance is a really good show. How to Train Your Dragon is a franchise that just never grabbed me. And Ross says, I'll skip it, Darren. Thank you for the suggestion.
You're no fun.
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of this.
There's one other person, like Mary plays on this server with me every once in a while. And then Kristara also has access.
I'm just looking at this and I'm just like, I don't know.
But I tell everybody with modded, if it has quest lines, just follow the quest lines step
And
by
see-
step.
And that makes sense.
You know, just follow everything step by step because it will explain things to you. Like the Jewel Crafter Station, you know, its design provides the player with special effects or stat increases.
Yep.
That is the mod. That where is my ring? Gives me creative flight. This is how you get creative flight.
Okay.
Is you use that mod. But this mod pack, a lot of the stuff is gated behind the world engine.
And is that what you're working towards?
Yeah, basically finishing it. Which is all this. I got to add advanced machine blocks, which I have to kill the chicken, that hasn't been going very well.
Ah.
So I might just go this route, which this actually gets you into a... And they did circuits different. You probably never heard of AE2.
Nope.
So typically a presses. This, they actually have a circuit fabricator, which is a whole different multi-block you have to use. Right here. It explains how it works. And this is how it looks when you build it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get into circuits doing that, which later on you'll get into the circuit slicer, which is what I will use later on, but that requires me to get every inscriber. Which the only way to get the inscribers, I believe, is through this guy.
Oh boy. And John Knight is continuing to go in with more Grammy Award nominations. I've heard of very little of these. Even were best song written for visual media. And Ross giving me an anime recommendation coming up for winter. Look up the summary of playing death games to put food on the tables. My anime list. My anime list login. Stay logged in. Seasonal. Winter 2025. Oh, new Trigun coming next season. Reading the description of this one, Ross. Yuki wakes up to find herself in an unfamiliar manner, wearing a maid uniform and lying on a luxurious bed. Soon she discovers 5 more girls, all dressed the same as her. This is the ghost house, and the only way they can survive is to make it through the traps that lie in wait, deadly games full of blowguns, buzzsaws, locked rooms, and weapons. It's a hopeless, terrifying situation for everyone there. Well, everyone except Yuki. After all, this is her career at 17. Do you think that's odd? She would agree. But that's how some people are. They earn their living playing death games, and it's based on a light novel. Ross, I'm actually going to give that a solid maybe. Because that's got promise, but it's also got potential to be really, really bad. Ross, did you I'm going to ask this to you. Did you watch Squid Game at all? Or anything of the like? Cuz or any of you guys for that matter.
I know of it. I never watched it.
Same.
Which one? Sorry, I've spaced out.
Squid Game.
Oh, no, know of it, never watched it.
Because this anime that Ross is recommending to me gave me some Squid Game vibes. But at least Ross has figured out which one of us likes what. And is actually giving serious recommendations. Okay. There is, in fact, a Grammy Award nominee for, or there is, in fact, a category for Grammy called Best Alternative Music Album. And I've never heard of the only artist on this list I've heard of is Tyler, the Creator.
You know, to be honest, I have never followed the Grammys because, or what?
I used to back in the day, but back in the day, like being a teenager, I was an entertainment junkie and kept up with all of that to the point where I actually wrote album reviews for part of a school newspaper. And Ross says I tried watching 10 minutes of the show for a season, but with the mouth tracking off with the English, I couldn't handle Squid Games. That's fair. For a lot of the import content I watch, I do watch subtitled. And for what I don't, and for what we do watch dubbed, because we do watch a lot. We're currently watching an Asian fitness competition show, and we're watching it subtitled, we're watching it dubbed, which is hilarious. But yeah, Netflix has figured out that I really like import content, so now most of my recommended list is import content. Huh. All right. And with that, that is very reasonable, Ross. Now, Kaya, I'm gonna ask: have you ever actually streamed yourself playing Minecraft?
Yes.
Have you been doing that lately?
No, I haven't actually had time to really stream.
Too busy at the day job?
Yep. By the time I get home, I'm exhausted.
Have you did you because I genuinely don't know, did you actually have at one point a set schedule for streaming, or?
No, I just streamed. I've never really tried to make a schedule because it's just, even at my old job, it's just, if I had time, I would do it.
because it's a whole, because I have other content creator friends who stream, and most of them eventually get to a point of basically setting up a schedule regardless of what their day job was.
Yep. Can't make that.
And John Knight lists more Grammy Award nominees for Best Alternative Music Performances. Again, I've only heard of one of these artists, and then Ross says, for next season, I only have interest in 7 shows. Only 7. Actually, for you, that is a low number, now that I say that. But at some point, we'll actually, when Doug's here, I'm sure at some point we'll do a review of this season / preview of what we actually want to watch next season.
And before the end of the year, we'll have our year-end review, I'm sure.
Yep. And I'm sure I'll have opinions. I'm sure I'll have some really strong opinions, both positive and negative. But on that lovely note, it is that time.
Oh, it's already 10. Holy.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for the comments, the chat. Apologies for the random all over the place conversations. And be happy, be healthy, keep watching anime, keep sharing those opinions, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.